Welcome back. We are starting part 2 of our shipwreck cutscene where we're going to create some animation for the object that we just drew. So we are moving one thing and one thing only, this ship. So the ship, the crew, everything here is moving. The waves, no. The background, no. Those stay in the same place. So just the ship. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There's actually a shortcut for that if you like shortcuts. You can hit Control on your keyboard and then scroll down with your mouse at the same time, and that'll zoom out. Or you can click on View and click on Zoom, and then I'm going to zoom out to maybe around 50% to give me a little bit more kind of room to work with here off to the side. And even that might not be enough. Maybe even go down to 40%. Just to make sure you have room because we are going to be working off the sides of the slide. So with the ship selected, and I don't want to select any individual part, so I'm just going to click it once so it's the whole thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add my own animation. So up on animations on your tab here, we're going to actually add our own custom animation and we're going to draw our own path. So I'm going to click on down, and we're not doing entrance or emphasis or exit. This time we're actually going to make a motion path. So we're going to click custom path and come back and draw our own. Now my ship is pointed this way, so it needs to go this way. Now if yours is going the opposite way, that's fine, but I'm going to make mine try to be a little bit realistic here. So I'm going to start it off to the side here, and I'm going to draw my path way off. So I'm going to click, hold down, and then I'm going to give it a nice kind of wavy path to, nice little wavy path to follow. And then at the end, now at the end, do you see what's happening with the mouse over there? So if I don't double click, it's still going to add a whole other path on because it's trying to do another segment. We don't need another segment. So I need to double click at the end so that it ends that path. Oh, did you see that? So let's watch that animation again. Now, how do we watch it? There's actually up here in your toolbar a preview option, or even easier is open this animation pane here on the side, and that's going to show us everything that we've done so far. So green arrow, start, goes across, ends here. So if we hit preview or play here, same thing. Watch it go. Too fast, right? Can't even see where it's going. So we need to change some options. So if I click on my animation, I'm going to change it instead of starting on a click. I don't want to have to actually click the mouse to make it start. I'm going to say to start after previous. So as soon as we hit that slideshow, this is going to pop up. So duration, it's only 2 seconds to get from here to there. We're going to slow that way down. I would say between 8 to 10 seconds. So I'm going to do 8 and hit enter. So that's going to be my first animation. Now, in our answer key, the one that we watched in the beginning, we also had a wind sound effect. You can add sound to an animation path. So I'm going to come in here and right click on top of this. So right click, and then I'm going to go down to effect options. And you can see for enhancements, there's an option for sound. So right now we have none. So I'm going to change that to a wind sound. Wind. And hit OK. So now we see going much slower. Only other problem I see is that it's very deep right now. It's too low on the screen. I can change that by just dragging this up. And then that's going to play off the center point of my ship and then hopefully make it go a little bit better. So we can try it again. Play one more time. Starts all the way off, goes across, doesn't fly out of the ocean, ends all the way off. Perfect. So from here, we're going to do the same thing, except this time, click our ship, and we have to do that first. Key. Click here first, highlight your ship, and then we're going to draw another path from the ending point back to the halfway. So another animation path, custom path, and we're going to come kind of on a wavy pattern again and stop in the middle. So double click to stop it in the middle, and here it comes back. Now a little bit low, so I can take this second path and I can move it up a little bit. Here it's not wanting to move, so I may just stretch it up a little bit. And then I'm also going to change some of the options. So I don't want it to be on click. As soon as the first one is over, I want it to come back. So I want it to come back, instead of on click, after previous. So this way we have it coming on after the last effect happened. So after previous, and then maybe slow it down to 4 or 5 seconds. I'm going to go with 4. So here's our second effect. Now, another breeze should play as it's coming back across the screen. So again, we're going to do right click, effect options, wind. So we're adding a wind effect to that sound effect, or to that effect as well. And it looks like it's getting choppy waters because they're starting to go down, which is actually an awesome time to add in our third effect. So I'm going to click my ship again, and this time I'm going to add an animation, but it's not going to be a motion path. It's going to be a spin. So I'm going to click on spin emphasis. Nice, huh? Spin all the way around, like it lost its head here. So that's not quite what we want. If I play it again for you, watch it. Okay, so here we go. Here they go. Go, Revises, go. All the way off. Coming back. Getting choppy. Whoa, and some weird spinny thing. So we definitely have to fix that. So we're going to click on our third animation here, and we're going to change a bunch of stuff with it. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and just pull up the effect options, so that way this whole box pops up. So we do not need an entire clockwise spin. Instead, we're going to do a quarter spin, and mine's set at 90 degrees clockwise, so that's going to go this way. Now it could go either way, that's going to be up to you, but clockwise is already what's set. Also, at the same time as it's spinning, we're also going to have a sound playing. We're going to have an explosion happen in the background. So we're going to add an explosion, and the only other thing we need to change is we don't want it to start on click. We want it to go after the last effect. 2 seconds, how long it's going to last, that's probably pretty good. You could make it a little bit slower, maybe 3 seconds, up to you. So there it goes. And now, very last thing that we're going to add is we're going to add one more path for it to go down off the screen, all the way to the bottom. So clicking the ship again, add animation, custom path, start where the last one ended, and go all the way off the screen. And double click to end your path. Now, even though it didn't show the spin first, it's still happening, so don't freak out about that. That's fine. So we're going to change how this one starts. It should be after previous, and duration 2 seconds. That's probably pretty good. So what we have so far is the start, going across, coming back, explosion, twisting, that emphasis effect, and then going down off the stage. Now, very last thing is we had a scream happen going down. So as the ship is sinking, we hear loud scream in the background. That's not here. So what we need to do is we need to add a sound. But if I were to go to my effect options and look for that sound, the sound that we played earlier, it's not one of these. So it's not already loaded. So instead, you can also, I know it sounds weird, but remember this clip art here? If you go to Insert, Clip Art, this is going to pop up. We can look for male, as in boy, M-A-L-E, scream. And that's going to give us 4 different options here. So you can play, if you wanted to actually hear what it sounds like, you can test it out. But this is the one that we want, called male scream. So I'm going to click on this, and we're going to see a speaker pop up right in the middle of the screen. Yeah, and that's going to be there the entire time we play. Not cool. So we're going to take this thing, and we're going to move it. Oh, not that one. We're going to move the speaker when I select it correctly, and we're going to move it off to the side. Now, all it shows while the screen plays is that white section where the slide is. So that, we won't see it. We're going to pretend like it's not there. So our speaker is here. And did you notice something else? Look over here. So over here, it's showing up in our animation pane. So it's another one that's going to come through with our animation. The only problem is that it's waiting for a trigger. See that? So we got to fix that. But we also want to change it a little bit too. So we're going to go up to our options. I'm going to right click and we're going to go to effect options, just like we did before. So we need this to start not on click, but it's actually going to go with the last effect. So the last effect, remember, is your path where it's sinking, going down. So we want the noise, the scream, to happen with our last effect. So we're going to go back and make it go with previous. And the only other thing we need to check here, this is super, super, super important. Make sure that's clicked. Where it says triggers, that's where it's the trigger that comes up. We want it to be part of that sequence. So if we leave it as this option, it's going to be good. But if it's on this other box, the start, it's not going to work. Bad, bad, bad. So make sure it's on animate as part of text. And then we'll click OK. So now the trigger, remember, see it? Bye-bye. It's not there. So it's gone. So now we have our 5 animations. And if we use a shortcut, I love my shortcuts. So I'm looking at my keyboard here. See F5? If you can see in the dark. F5 will start your slideshow. Beautiful day. Oh, look at them going. They're sailing. Hear that breeze? Oh no, it's getting choppy. Oh no, there's an explosion. And they're down. Now, hopefully insert us all swimming here so we're not drowning. And we swim to shore, and then we're ready to start competing. And that's the video game that would follow this backstory. So that's it. Not complicated. Anything that you need to go back, review, see what you can come up with. And also check out the next video, which is going to tell you what to do with some problems that happen a lot.